I said peace, tranquility, roll up the weed and get high. I said peace, tranquility, roll up the weed and get high. I said peace, tranquility, roll up the weed and get high. I said peace, tranquility, roll up the weed and get high.
What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode, man. I am one half of this great team. I go by the name of Desmond Bonet.
Go by the name of Lade.
And this is Blue Light Lounge presents TheyFired Us. Today's a special episode, man. For any of y'all who's been, down with the TheyFired Us team, then y'all done heard this mentioned a million times. For those of y'all who's been following us from the previous podcast, I should also know exactly, what I'll be speaking about. Today is Halloween, man, October 31st. First and foremost, before we continue, the times is crazy. Be safe. I don't really know what's going on if the kids are going to go trick-or-treating, but remain cautious, remain aware, be safe. I know everybody's been wearing masks, but there's some people that think a little different, man, so just be safe. October 31st, man, that date is significant because of this man right here. The reason why it's significant, y'all done heard us speak about it a million times, man. The job that we previously worked for, today is Lade's 1 year anniversary since being fired from that job for something that he had nothing to do with. Just wanna point that out. Nothing to do with. But we're not going to dwell on the negative parts, man. This is a whole year later, so today's episode is life after fire, man. So whether it's good times or bad times, Lade is just, gonna take us through his transition, through his experience from that moment of when it happened to right now, the present day, man. I might even learn some things, man. So we're gonna change it up a little bit, man. I know he's always talking, but we're gonna switch it up a little bit. I don't be the one talking, just let him kind of, just answer whatever questions I got, man. But before we get to that, how you feeling, man?
Today's a memorable day. It's ironic that it's raining too, because raining is normally therapeutic. It normally makes you think. It normally makes you. Some people are sad and they hate the rain, but rain is normally just calms the soul, calms the spirit. So I'm happy that it's raining, because it just calms my spirit today.
Got you. The rain for me, man.
You don't like it? You're like, nah.
It's like, it's honestly a nothing feeling. I know that's not a term, but like I don't get sad by it. It's not really therapeutic. Like when I see the rain, that's just my cue to stay inside. But I guess it can be enjoyable, especially if you're somebody that's into meditation as I am. So I guess sometimes it could be soothing, for that, depending on the time of the day and things like that, man.
Yeah, depending on what you got going on in your life, etc.
Definitely, man. I know for a lot of couples, this is that laid up cuddle weather. So I know there's a lot of women right now that's,
Yeah. Salute to you guys.
But look, man, for any of you guys who, if this just so happens to be the first episode that you happen to see, just to give you a little backstory, then I'll let him continue from there. Me and Lade met, I want to say now it was almost 3 years ago.
Yeah, almost. Time is moving like. Woo.
Yeah. Almost 3 years ago. We both did security at the same job. He was there before me. Two of the best. Ain't nobody gonna ever argue that. Trust me, ain't not gonna argue that. Two of the best. And like I said, long story short, he got terminated for something that he had no part of, like, at all. He wasn't even there when the situation happened. Yeah, man. So I'm gonna let you continue from there, man. Just first take us to that moment. When it did happen, what was going through your head. The process, and then just take the people through the experience and how you doing now, man.
All right, so I won't go into details, about like, point A, point B, et cetera, because I think I don't want to say it's irrelevant. However, I'm always cautious about what I say, and I don't want to down talk, the company, because people have this perception that we hate the company that fired us when we really don't hate them. We just hate, certain ways that we were treated, and that's a big difference. I don't think people understand that. You know, people might love being in a relationship, but they, because they want that feeling of being accepted. They want that feeling of being loved. However, that relationship is not good for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they have to leave that relationship, but they want to be in a relationship, just like how some people want to be in a job where they feel valued, they feel like their work, especially if they work hard, is appreciated and taken with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
I think there were signs. I would see signs on Instagram, like different quotes and different captions about leaving. It didn't say a job or anything like that, but it just said leaving.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw um, like early signs, like my body was um, distressed, had a lot of chest pains, body aches, and then I had a friend, a good friend of mine. Her name is Shakira. She does a lot of graphics for us. So if you guys want, we'll link her IG and you can reach out to her. She does a lot of YouTube intros, graphic design, Photoshop, Illustrator, whatever. Um, she told me, actually the day that I got fired, that you look you look miserable, and you should quit. And then 10 minutes later, look what happened. I got fired, and she was waiting for me because we were gonna walk home. I was gonna walk into the train station. We was gonna just walk and talk or whatever. And like 10 minutes later, I got fired from the job, and the
Right.
feeling I had was like shocked, you know, like so many emotions. I was shocked. I was disappointed. I was mad. You know, and I had all of this bitterness, all of this anger, just balled up in me. And not only because I know what I contributed to the job, and I could sleep well with that, but also with my own adversity that I have dealing with, at home and etc. at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And and at any job that we like, it almost becomes a safe haven for us to leave our problems
Mm-hmm.
that we're dealing with, and just interact with each other and make the day productive as possible, and make sure it's smooth. With security, we just wanted to make sure that it was a safe environment for everybody. Keyword safe haven. You
Exactly.
know, but then when you have problems at home and you have problems at jobs, then it just weighs down on you. So then me leaving the job is just like, all right, I'm at the job, not only to take care of myself but provide for my family.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you don't have that, then that becomes a question mark. Then you have to really, get on your power, get on your hustle and figure out like, all right, what is the next step? What am I gonna do now that I'm handed this
Mm-hmm.
now that I'm handed this deck of cards? And it was a tough time for me, like people know on my YouTube, I talk about depression and anxiety, and I talk about battling, you know, both of those things, more depression than anxiety. And that day was like a like like terrible for me. I don't think a lot of people know. You and another close friend of mine, Shakira, they know. But if anybody knows the movie Joker, who's seen the Joker and see him walking through the street, you know, and him just like thinking and stuff like that. That's the same thing I did. I was on the phone with you and my
Yeah.
and other friend, and I was just walking in the street. I was just, cars were coming towards me and I was just walking, and just thinking like, like this is unfair. Like, I was really playing victim at that point. I mean, not to say that I wasn't a victim, but that's what happens when people are highly depressed. That's the first that's one of the first things they go to, is to play victim and to ask, why did this happen to me? When they're trying to gather their thoughts and trying to make some kind of analysis of why certain things happened. You know, and this happens with a lot of Geminis. I can't speak for any other sign, but Gemini's, we really think a lot. We try to analyze everything. If I was trying to analyze everything that happened, we'll still trying to cope with what just happened and still think about my family and the other problems that I had going on at the time. And I think anybody could attest to that. They go to a job, um, whether they've been there for a month, whether they've been there for a year, etc. They have high expectations, they do the job well, and then they hit a ceiling where the job becomes stagnant, you know, but they still want to give their best foot forward. And then when, something bad happens, not even getting fired, you can have a bad day with a customer, you can have a bad day with an employee, you can have a bad day with etc. And then when you leave that job, then all that stress, all that pain, all that stuff carries on with you, and we we all experience it.
Mhm.
Those people watching, you experience that, and those who don't even know about They Fired Us, you know what we're talking about because it happens to everybody who has worked a 9 to 5, has a business, has a family, been in relationships. It's a humanity thing. Everybody experiences this some point in their life. Whether you're lower class, whether you're the one percenters. You know what I'm saying? So it was a hard thing for me to deal with at the time, and I try to balance everything well. So it was just extremely hard for me during that time.
Got you. I know you said the day of, you were seeing like a lot of signs and stuff like that. And you kind of felt it just with your I want to say just with your overall health. But did you feel it was gonna happen when it happened?
No, I mean, I never really. I mean, when and everybody knows that I'm the most humblest, because I give praises, to God, and when people are telling you that you're the best, and you pride yourself on that, not of cockiness or arrogance, but just to set an example,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and you get terminated, and it's like, what is there to say, and especially when you get terminated or fired rather for one reason, and then months later you find out it's another reason, and then it's just like, well, you know what I'm saying? Then it's like, then then I feel disrespected, and if that's the case, it's like, don't tell me that I was the best. Don't give me security of the year, the previous year, and then the next year I get fired, and then tell me that, oh, you seen a change in my in my performance and my behavior. I'm like, how? Like, if anything, you see me increase. I was really going subconsciously. Now that I look back, I was really going for security of the year again. And just to set that role model, not to say that I was better than anybody else, because I always told people, other security guards, where they have better skills than me, or where their skill set is better, and I'm still learning from them, and we're all a team, like we all learn from each other.
That's a fact.
But yeah, it came as a shock. Don't tell me I'm the best and doing a good job, and then this. this time, this particular day, I get fired. When you tell me before that we're making changes, we're listening to you, we're going to accommodate you with X, Y, and Z to make it, a little bit easier for you. Like, don't it's almost like it's almost like the cows, before they get slaughtered. You know what I'm saying? They kind of play nice music for them. They kind of massage them. They kind of feed them, grass-fed food, and kind of make the cows feel like they're in luxury. And then they slaughter,
Crazy.
the cows. Is I'm not saying it was that extreme,
Yeah.
but it kind of felt like that in a way, like just telling us, or telling me rather, one thing, and then completely doing another. So
Gotcha. And that's completely understandable. I know there's a few people that's watching that can guarantee 100% relate to that. But that's the negative. Downtime, dealt with depression, felt disrespected. It came out of nowhere. I know, especially when I heard about it. Like, I'm like, what the hell's going on? Like,
yeah,
Twilight Zone. Like, we're in the Twilight Zone officially now.
facts.
What did it do for you personally? Like, when did that, throughout the whole after, throughout the year, what did it do for you personally? Like, did it motivate you to put more energy into the things that you really really wanted to do, or did it have you like kind of wondering what are you going to do now?
Well, it had me doing both. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything like that. I try to keep things as real as I know it to be. Like the first like 3 4 months, like heavily depressed, heavily, like, I felt worthless. You know what I'm saying? And it just it just took me it just took me by surprise, really. And I think what hit me most was the adversity that I was dealing with outside of work. Like all the problems that was going on, all the things that I was, hoping, to do with the money. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like Thanksgiving came, and that was trash. I'm not gonna hold it. Christmas came, you know, that felt trash. And not to get not to get sidetracked for a minute, but
Mhm.
we're living in a world that is trying to demasculate men. And one things that happens in society, which kind of makes a man feel less than a man, is not being able to provide.
That's a
I'm
fact.
I'm not even gonna relate this to any kind of money. I'm not gonna relate this to any kind of status. Just not being able to provide. Men are created to be natural hunters, natural goal getters. You know, seek and find kind of kind of kind of spirits, and not being able to provide when I really had to, was the biggest heartbreak for me. And I just sat with that, and I really wanted to be angry. I wanted to be upset, but it's just like, how? Like, who am I gonna take my anger out on? And I noticed it one time, just for a quick example, like, somebody in the house at the time ordered something, and the delivery guy came, and in the way I was talking to the delivery guy, my brother was like, "Yo, bro, chill. Like, it's not that serious. Yeah. He got a little, but just chill." And then I went back into my room and I had to think, like, yo, like, damn, like, I'm really taking out unnecessary frustration out on other people, and this is not who I am as a person, you know, because during that time I had no space to channel that, energy rather. So it was yet again a humbling experience, you know, like I felt like I was humble to that job, but then I was yet again, you know, God put me in a humble experience, you know, to just think and regroup, you know, to really suppress my anger and to really think like, yo, what is next? What's the next step? You know, you have all these ideas, you have all these you have all these concepts. What, what's the next step? You know? So that's kind of where it it had me. I don't know if that answered the question.
No, yeah, that answered it. Just to continue on from there, what are some of the things that you realized and put your energy into? I know a few of it, but I want the audience to really know exactly the things that you put your good time, your money, your energy into to kind of come out on the other side. That's how I would put it.
Well, there are a few things that I just can't speak about right now. So there's a few things that I would love to tell the public, but the timing is off. So, but I'm working on several projects. One of the projects is this podcast, which very happy about. Like the way it's going, the new ideas that's coming up. You know, just working on building a foundation. For those who don't know, I have my own YouTube channel. Take it easy, Tiger. Still working on a foundation and building.
Gotta make sure the link is down below for that, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to that one too.
Yeah, thanks. You know, it's a it's a tug of war. You know, it's a tug of war. You know, to grab what you want. You know, sometimes you feel like letting go of that rope. Well, once you let go of that rope, you let go of your opportunity to become successful or your opportunity to win.
Very true.
So, yeah. Other than that, I mean, I do a plethora of stuff. You know, arts. I do photography. I do graphic design. Um, I make music on the side as well.
Does all the graphics for this podcast, man. I want to point that out.
Yeah. So just trying to stay busy. You know, I mean, the other things that I am working on, I want to tell everybody, but I just can't right now. I do have some merch. Everybody loves Tiger. We're working on a clothing line, trying to get that going. However, God gave me a new vision, so I have to put a pause on that right now. So it's just like building blocks, you know. Always had this line when I freestyled. I said, building blocks like 9/11, but I stay with reverence. Um, so even though 9/11, you know, it's symbolic for being taken down. You
Hmm.
know, at the end of the day, we still um, stay with reverence for that day and the people who um, were were sadly sacrificed on that day. So that's one of the lines I always just look back at that I said just to keep me humble and just to keep me steadfast in a sense, you know. So
Got you. That's super dope, man. That's super dope that you kept busy and didn't really let you you didn't really let the situation and what happened like kind of just deter you and like give up completely. How you feeling today, man? 2020.
well,
I know it's been a crazy year, but just on a personal level, looking, it's at this point it's a whole year later. It's all the way in the past. How do you feel today, man?
um, I'm I'm not gonna I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, you know, and be like, yeah, you know, like, yeah, I made it, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And like, so many people like to do that once they leave a job, you know, to kind of like shit on a job or to prove that they, you know, are doing better in life. And I'm like, no, I'm a realist, you know,
Mhm.
you know, I want to look in the mirror and say, yo, like, I'm as real as it can be, you know. I'm still battling depression. You know, I can admit that for myself. You know, I am seeking help. You know, I have a life coach who's helping me now. It's ironic because I kind of want to be a life coach, but I have a life coach, so it's like, what the heck? And I'm finding things to make me happy. You know, it's funny you asked one of the positive things. So one of the things that kind of helped me, even with getting fired was going to the gym. I started off in my house and doing home workouts, and I have an excellent coach. Excuse me, and I'm so happy with the work that we both did. Actually, this week is the last week, um, and I've been doing it for like 8 weeks. Um,
Talking
no,
about,
yeah,
man.
yeah, 8, 12 weeks.
Oh, man.
So yeah, that was good. And actually today I said I was gonna take the day off because we didn't know it was gonna rain. And I
Yeah.
was gonna come to you early, but then since it's raining, the weather is kind of bad, we decided to do on a Zoom. So I just pushed myself and went to the gym. Yesterday was a bad day, which normally happens, to the best of us, and just went today. So um, I'm I'm feeling fine. I always say, when I talk to my friends, kind of like rate their day from 1 to 5. If I have to rate my day so far, probably give it a 4. You know,
It's not bad.
it's just funny how at the job, I prided myself on just being humble, and I was put in a situation where God had to humble me. Whether and that's the one takeaway that I want to always remember. And not look at it as, oh, they fired you. Just look at it as God closed this door for me, and He wants me to enter through a new door. And even though I could be upset, so many times, it's like, well, when I look back years later, I'm gonna be thankful for this one thing happened, and it hasn't even been years later. It's only 1 year later, and I'm thankful for it happening. I got a jump start on quarantine, which is great. You know,
That's a
um,
fact.
yeah, there was an issue on my behalf with my had collecting unemployment. So when I got my unemployment, it was like one big lump sum. It was almost like I won the lottery. So that was great. Even though at the time it was stressful, with the other stuff I had to do. When I got it, it was like, good. So I just got to take the positive with it, and that's it. Through life, it's always a tug of war, with you and yourself. It's going to be a tug of war with you and family members. It's going to be a tug of war with you and a job. It's going to be a tug of war with you and your problems, adversities, insecurities,
Mm-hmm.
et cetera, whatever's in there. But as long as you keep pulling that rope closer to you, so you can become victorious, catch that flag, defeat the person that's on the opposite side, then you're going to become victorious. And that's what I'm trying to do right now. I have to cancel out all the distractions, cancel out all the noise, and really just channel myself to, for me, I believe in God, so I'm going to channel my focus on God and what God wants me to do, and actually listen to Him. All right, God, I've been hit with these blows. I haven't been listening to you, so that's why I haven't got what I wanted. It's just funny. Like, you can't pray for something, and then God is trying to direct you, and then get mad when you don't get what want, because God is trying to instruct you, like, go here, but you're too busy.
Where you want to go?
Yeah, exactly. You're too busy distracted. Whether it's with relationships, whether it's with there are tons of distractions. Whether it's alcohol for some people, whether it's going out every weekend, whether it's just trying to be in a mix. There's a ton of distractions, and it's not what God called us to do. God called us to just be focused on Him, and we focus on Him, then our life is going to be 10 times better. It's going to be better than what we already imagined. So knowing that and being sidetracked, you know what I'm saying, then God is, redirecting my purpose and my life back to Him. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And that's why I say it's a humbling experience, because at the job, like, I always, consider myself as the God, not saying I'm God, but I have God-like qualities, just like you have God-like qualities, just like anybody who's watching this has God-like qualities,
Mm-hmm.
and when, you know, not to say that I think that I was untouchable, but I didn't think I was going to get fired. Like, just because of my work ethic and just because what I did. And you know, having that happened, you know, it's just like, okay, maybe I don't know everything. You know, maybe you know, maybe this is the new direction. You know, but what is the new direction? You know what I'm saying? Oh,
A new journey to embark on.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, like yes. I was talking about God, you know, do certain times at the job, but was my focus truly on Him? Like, like who did I put, you know, higher? Did I put the job higher? Did I put God higher? You know, I put the job higher. You know, and that's why I got, you know, knocked down. You know, now I'm in a position where it's just like God is like, I told you so. I told you so. You know, bless you, bless you.
Thank
Not COVID, right?
you. No COVID, thank God, no COVID over here, man.
Okay. Gucci gang, Gucci gang.
That's dope, man. Some of the parts of the conversation, of course, you know, I knew, and I want to say this on camera, being that it is a year later. And for the people who's tuning in, I don't want you guys to get sidetracked by me or Lade constantly, you know, mentioning how much time has went by, because it's honestly really not about that job. Just like he said, it's just like a relationship where you truly are in love with the person, but it's just some things aren't going right. So sometimes the best thing to do is separate. There's no hate towards that job. We are still very cool with a lot of people from that job. There's no hate at all. But me personally, I was glad to do this episode today because it further pushes the narrative that we try to push behind the title They Fired Us. Lade, he just said he dealt with depression, didn't know what was going on, didn't get unemployment for, you know, a little minute. So those are situations that would put anybody like just further down in the rut to really look up like, what am I doing? Like, you know, not to say that it was that extreme, but there are people who have, you know, suicidal thoughts and might, you know, take that route because of how hard life is. But just like we repeated before, just because they fired you doesn't mean you have to fire yourself.
Yeah,
This is coming from me. You heard everything that he said as far as dealing with depression, and he's humble. He was the best security guard there. And he used to tell me that I was, and this is me telling him that you were. I looked up to not only just the way he handled and did security, but the way he handled and the way he talked to customers, the way he handled and talked to other employees, and just the personality. If anybody who knows both of us on a personal level, y'all know that we're night and day, complete opposite. Um, I'm low tone and in the corner just doing what I gotta do. He's in a sense low tone in the corner doing what he gotta do, but at the same time, the life of the party and everybody's welcome. Like everybody knows that we're complete opposite. And those are like a few of the characteristics that I looked up to. So when that news happened, like trust me, from the outside in, as shocked as he was, everyone else was shocked. It's like, what's going on? But it just further proves the strength, not only the mental strength, but the physical strength to still wake up the very next day and then the day after that and the day after that continuously with not having a for sure plan and not really know what's going on, but still making sure whatever it is that's going to happen, you doing what you have to do on your side.
yeah,
And that just, like I said, that just proves, man, just because they fired you don't mean you have to fire yourself. This is
yeah,
a prime example.
yeah. And I just want to speak this to the universe. I want to speak this to the guys of manifestation. It's like there's people who get fired and they deserve to get fired. You know, they did stealing, they they robbed, kind of same thing. They was disrespectful,
Hmm.
X, Y, and Z. And during quarantine, there were a lot of good workers who had to get unemployment and get fired because of COVID. You know, there were companies that just couldn't handle, you know, it can't handle it couldn't handle the load. You know, they couldn't handle the overhead. So they had to let go of people. And if anyone is watching this, you know, this one is dedicated to you guys, and I pray that, the quarantine, because we're still in quarantine, hasn't been lifted. I pray that, whatever your next step is, it's actually a step up, you know. And I pray that if any of you guys have business ideas and you guys want to work for yourselves, then you guys have taken the time, to put in the work so you could get to where you get to now. And just any one time to actually work and be diligent is it's actually now. And kind of ironically, you know, Desmond and I, we always advocated working on something outside of work. We've always advocated people, what's your passion? What's your purpose? What do you want to do in life? And I can honestly say, whether they talk to us or not, we had instilled in a lot of coworkers that we used to work with about doing something, and we're happy that they're doing it now. We see a lot of them starting businesses. We see a lot of them pushing YouTube channels. We see a lot of them working at other places that they are comfortable with, and it's easier for them. And we're happy for you guys. Hey, congratulations, and keep on fighting, keep on pulling that rope, um, and never give up. You know.
That is a fact, man. This was, ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, I want to say this is one of my favorite episodes. Just because for me on my side, I know we always, go back and forth on certain topics. It's, a lot of, I guess, debating on both sides. But this time, I got to just sit here and just ask the things that I know a lot of people might have wondered about. And I know I have. And to just sit here and just, kind of hear you speak about it from every aspect, the negative all the way up to the positive, and to even hear you say that, you're still doing everything that you need to do. Congratulations, first and foremost, on the personal training. The reason why I want to congratulate you on that is because I've always preached that even the smallest accomplishments are still an accomplishment. Me and this man always had conversations about trying to make time for the gym, trying to go to the gym after work, after working 12 hours and feet is hurting, back is on fire. We always talked about, constantly trying to do these things, man. So from a brother to the brother, congratulations, bro. I think you said you got 1 more week or 2 more weeks, man. So that's definitely dope. Y'all see me wear the shirt, so I don't even gotta mention that. That's super dope. Link will be down below. Um, Nothing else today, man. Nothing else to really say, man. Just because they fired you does not mean you have to fire yourself. We speak through experience and not just throwing something into the air. Every single word that me and this man blurts out, every story that we tell, just whatever it is, it's all through experience.
Yeah, yeah.
I
That's
am
it, man.
Desmond Bonnet. My fault, my
Uh,
fault.
nah, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. I see it. I see it. Vivacious. I see it. I see it. It's okay. I go about I go can't even talk. I go by the name of Lade. I also wanted to mention though we still are having this giveaway. You
Oh
know,
yeah, yeah.
we're still having this giveaway. It's at 200 followers, either on YouTube or either on our IG, which is TheyFiredUs. Um, Straight exactly like that. You can find us blue icon, white logo. You'll find it
Yes,
on
sir.
you'll find it on either platform. We do have a lot of new content coming up, so stay tuned for that. It might look like we're stagnant, but we're actually working. So be patient with us. Um, and we thank you for joining us on our journey.
Yes, sir. And remember, peace, tranquility, roll up the weed and get high, man. And even if you don't smoke, peace, tranquility are two of the most important things you can ever conquer in life, man. Once again, I am Desmond Bonnet,
I am Lade.
and this was another edition of They Fired Us, a special edition of Life After Fired, Part 1, featuring my guy over here, man. Tune in next week, just like he said. We got a lot of new things coming on. Y'all, I guarantee y'all gonna be excited. Y'all gonna want to, engage in a lot of the things we doing, man. So stay tuned, like, comment, And please subscribe, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Come join the family, man.
Word. And if you don't tell a friend, tell a baby mama or the baby father, and then have them tell the babies, and then have the babies tell the grandmas, and then the grandmas tell the aunts. You know how it goes. We a family.
So everybody, man. Love y'all.
Yes, sir.